there's two. No? Yeah, there's two. Okay, all right. Go, Randy.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind. Down.
Nanda in the house with a harmonica solo. All right. Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. Woo! Can you just feel the energy? The place is alive this morning.
I think it started yesterday.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It started yesterday. Well, actually, to be truthful,
before that.
It started 31 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Somewhere 31-ish years ago, this guy named Bob Hulton asked this woman out on a date. 51 years ago, asked her out on a date and turned her onto a church that became her home. We love you, Dr. Susan. You know, 31 hours is far short of a time to celebrate 31 years, but it's been about that because we had the concert yesterday. Those of you that weren't here, we did a concert yesterday. The concert in the park. Exactly, and it worked out pretty well. In fact, and if you weren't here for it, we thought we would give you a little bit of a look at what took place. So we got. It was a whiteout. It was so much fun. Now here it comes. Here's a little bit of it.
Everybody wants the same damn thing. There's people I love and people I know, and some people they gotta go. I learned long ago to leave well enough alone. Yeah, let the little wheel roll. It's good to be me. It's good to be her. There's no escaping, so I'll do what's for the better. These times are changing, affecting us all together. Well, time's changing, it's all a tease. So
I got to stand for what I believe. I will swim with the coming new tide that wash in and out of my life. And I will stand through the changes that surround me. In different times and places I will see. Life's a test and it's plain to see. So I put my best foot forward and let my heart do the rest. 'Cause times are changing right here all around.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones. I'm looking for fun and feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you know? I come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? But doodle-doo-doo, I'm feeling groovy. Got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. Feeling groovy.
Hi, Dr. Susan. It's Dylan.
That's my
Deeds.
son.
I was your student about 20 years ago at Asilomar in
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. Yeah.
We'll get that in a second. So, you did so much for the Cosmic Kids that the Cosmic Kids decided they're sponsoring today's service.
Whoa.
You know how when you have a sponsor, there's different ads throughout the service.
Yes.
So let's go to our first ad from the Cosmic Kids. Our sponsor today is Dylan Deeds.
Hi, Dr. Susan. It's Dylan Deeds. I was your student about 20 years ago at Asilomar in the kids program, and I really enjoyed my time with you, and I wish you the best with your retirement. I hear that's coming up real soon, so I thank you again for all you did. It was a blast, and again, congrats on retirement. Bye.
He loves you.
He does. And he's going to see, and he's in Colorado.
He's in Colorado.
Right, so you can go
where are
see
going?
him.
What city?
Parker.
He's in Boulder.
Oh, that's not very far away.
Not very.
Yeah, there you go,
We'll
right?
look that up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I thought I'd have you come up and do the vision and mission statement for us. Because that's what we did yesterday. That's what we're doing today. We are living our vision. We are living our mission. Here it is.
All right. Our vision and our mission statement is we community,
Inclusive, loving, and authentic.
We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education.
That's who we are.
and that's why we're here, and here is what we do.
Jon Newbill. Come on up.
Good morning. Join me in opening treatment. Today we focus on smiles. So right here, right now, I recognize the one infinite smile in, through, and as each one in this sanctuary today, each one listening via the internet, each one of the Cosmic Kids over the past 30-some years. Knowing that a smile is the one thing that only has value when you give it away. The smile is absolutely the perfect gift because you can give it without depleting your own supply. The smile is absolutely a gift. Grateful, so grateful for all the smiles in this room, all the inner smiles that are just waiting to be revealed. I release my word into the law, as we all say together, and so it is.
Stand up and sing with us. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet spirit.
So here's today's affirmation. I'll say it once, and then I'll invite you all to join me. A smile, let me try again. I smile as I feel what I feel, knowing my emotions are a threshold to the deepest understanding of life's adventure. Together. I smile as I feel what I feel, knowing my emotions are a threshold to the deepest understanding of life's adventure. So my reading today is something I found on the internet, and it's about smiles. It didn't have a title, but I gave it this title, The Contagion in Miss Ellis's Class. One day, Miss Ellis gave the pupils a new assignment, an assignment on happiness. Her pupils would be happiness collectors, and were to see what would happen when they tried to bring happiness to those around them. As part of their assignment, all the students did really delightful, wonderful things. But Carla did But Carla, what Carla did, left everyone godsmacked. Several days after the assignment had been handed out, Carla turned up carrying a big sack. Here in this bag, I have all the happiness I have collected so far, she said, smiling. On seeing this, everyone was filled with expectation. But Carla didn't want to show anyone what was in the sack. Instead, she pulled out a small box and gave it to her teacher. When Miss Ellis had taken the box, Carla took out an instant camera out of her pocket and stood ready, before the day of cell phones, I guess. Open it, Miss Ellis. The teacher slowly opened the box and looked inside. A big smile showed up on her face, and at that moment, Carla snapped a photo. Carla's photo popped out of the camera, and she offered it to Miss Ellis along with a sheet of paper. The teacher read the paper in silence, and when she had finished, she gestured over to the sack. Oh, so it's... Yes, interrupted Carla, undoing the knot which sealed the sack. It's a great big pile of smiles. She opened the sack, and hundreds of photos fell out, all of different smiles, each one of them beautiful. The rest of the class tried to work out how Carla had managed to create such a great big chain of happiness. What was in the box was pretty simple, but everyone who had seen it had felt happiness being transmitted to them, and in return, without even thinking about it, every person had responded with a smile of their own. With all her classmates now smiling, Carla took a photo of each one of them. She gave them their own photo along with a slip of paper, which asked them to do the same with others, with other people, and to send a copy of the photos to her home address. And for months afterwards, Carla's post box was always full to the brim with photos of happy, smiling people. And so it was that she managed to spread understanding of the simple truth that every time you smile, you're sending a gift to the world. So you want to know what was in the box? Okay, hold on. I have to get ready. See here, hold on. We'll get there. Okay, I'm ready now. This is what was in the box.
Smile, everybody.
Thank you. I'm starting my own happiness collection.
No, I think there's a video.
And we take a pause now for another announcement from our Cosmic Kids sponsors of the day. Connie Milner.
Hi, Reverend Susan. Thank you so much for all of the years of wisdom, of loving kindness, and amazing instruction. I'll never forget you, and I will always have a part of you with me. I am so excited for this next leg of your journey because I know that same wisdom, that same kindness, and that same lovingness follows you everywhere, bringing only the best, most wonderfulest things ever. Bon voyage. I love you so much.
Oh. Perfect.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Great to be here. You know, when I chose this song, I had no idea how it would relate to today's service, and it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
As it always ends up being.
Mine does it.
And it's amazing. So I don't know how many of you have seen the meme that shows up sometimes on Facebook, and it's usually a chalkboard or a poster, and it says something like, "Hey you, I love you."
I don't know you.
I don't know you. You may think I'm crazy because I don't know you. Well, those are actually my words. But anyway, the gist of it is, the person is saying, if people can hate for no reason, then I could love.
For no reason.
And I was so taken by this meme, and so my friend and fellow Posse musician Claudia Carawan and I wrote this song based on that meme. Hey you, yes you, I don't know you, but I love you. Hey you, yes you, call me crazy, but I know the truth. If somebody hates another for no reason but the color of their skin, then I don't need a reason just to love you for your soul within. You're a child of God, good enough for me. If you're good enough for God, that's good enough for me. Hey you, yes you, I don't know you, but I love you. Hey you, yes you, yes I see you and I love you. And although we may look different, everybody's got a heart that breaks. We all got the same colored blood running through our veins. You're a child of God, and that's good enough. Good enough, good enough for me. We are made of love, made by God above. If you're good enough for God, that's good enough for me. If you're good enough for God, that's good enough for me. If you're good enough for God, that's good for me. Hey you, yes you, I don't know you, but I love you. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much, Patricia. Wow.
Everybody ready for 3 minutes of silent meditation? God Awareness Place, the Gap.
am in the darkness. I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am.
So I invite you to develop your own meditation practice. And remember, keep smiling.
Let's stay in that same place we just were in and bring Patricia up for a very special chant. Just stay in that space.
And are we going to be able to? Oh, yeah. Okay, great. So this chant is based on, it's my melody, but it's ancient Sanskrit lyrics. Om Namah Shivaya Shanti Om. And so we're going to start out very simple. Om, Om Shanti Om. And then after we do that a few times, then we'll build. But it'll be all on the same notes. So we're going to start. And feel free to close your eyes if you want. Just stay in that meditative space where we just were. So lower voices, this is your part. Om, 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 Shanti Om. Let me hear you. Next part. Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shanti Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shanti back to the beginning. Shanti Om. Om, 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 beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was gorgeous. A celebration to the auspicious one. Thank you for that. Yes, it's a great day for celebration. In fact, let's go back to our sponsors, to the Kosmic Kids.
Just wanted to start with saying congratulations on finally getting your well-deserved retirement, and I do hope all the best for the move and with family. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, because I've been in the service with you for most of my life, I just wanted to say that I am super grateful and extremely lucky to have grown up basically with a second parent like you, and to be able to have tons of fun-filled Sundays, not to mention once I got older for the teen group, being able to learn life lessons with you, even if we weren't doing actual teen group activities. We got to sit with the kids, your grandkids, and just talk about what's going on, and it was really, really good for me. Not to mention with the child care, also being able to have that as an opportunity was fantastic. Getting to be with the kids and teach them, be the kind of science guy of the group was absolutely fantastic, and I'm so glad that you're finally going to be able to get some good rest. So have a good one, and congratulations.
So many lives. You sure you're not going to need that box? Because you just had a little bit there, right? Oh my goodness! And look around the room. Look at these. This is because of you. Everyone's here because we love you so much, you know. And talking about catching someone smiling, I mean, I don't know of a day that I've come to work and not seen Dr. Susan smiling. You caught me smiling again. Yes, indeed. I was, you know, the song is "You Caught Me Smiling Again," Sly and the Family Stone. Was thinking about that, and as I began to research this really was a talk not just about smiles, but just about our emotions and our feelings and what we do with them and how we can sometimes get hijacked by them, and taking a look at it from a spiritual perspective. And as I began the research on this talk, I realized that we kind of use feelings and emotions, and this is going to be, whew, maybe I should have brought one of those up here for me. But we kind of use feelings and emotions as synonyms, but they're not synonyms. They're different things that are happening to us. Our feelings are what the psychologists called non-cognitive sensations. Something happens, you feel it. You just feel it. The emotions are the dramatizations. This feeling brought to you by your emotions. You know, it's what we make of it. It's the story that we make, and the stories we make and the things we do based on how we feel are really interesting. There was a study done on the stock market from 1982 to 1997. They studied the Wall Street stock market. They studied the stock traders, and they noticed that on sunny days, stocks went up. Sunny days in New York. Stocks went up. Not every time, of course, because the stocks don't do that, but a significant number of days, the stocks went up because guys were happy. They were smiling. The vitamin D was working on their systems. It's interesting how this thing that we do can bring about an energy that will lift not just us, but our stocks as well. And all of us that have got those retirement accounts that are hooked to the stock market, we really like that. We want to, maybe they should move the stock market to Phoenix where there's more sunny days.
You know, Epictetus says that we are not disturbed by things, we are disturbed by the view of things. In Proverbs, as a man thinketh, so is he. And what does Shakespeare say? You know, thinking it makes it so. We know that this is the truth. We know that our thoughts govern our feelings, and sometimes our thoughts govern our feelings more than the happenings that are taking place in life. Ergo, the stock market. Dr. Holmes talks about this, and he talks about it in the idea of a well-balanced life. He says that in a well-balanced person, emotion is controlled by the intellect, but in many people, there is a conflict between the emotion and the intellect. So this morning, let's unpack that conflict. Let's look at the conflict and see what we can do about this conflict. Because like it or not, we're sometimes like puppets of our emotions, puppets of our feelings. And we make a lot of complex decisions in life where we're consulting our feelings and not our thoughts. But we know that thoughts are things. And if thoughts are things based on our feelings, and we're letting our feelings run things, then maybe our thoughts are not deciding for us the best thing to take place in our life. How do we resolve this conflict? Because our feelings will distort reality. Back to the stock market again, Berkshire Hathaway stock. If you look at it over 30 years, it's just like this. But if you take a segment of it, like a particular day, there was one day where the Berkshire Hathaway stock dropped half in the middle of the day. And then it went back up, and then it went back down, and then it settled up better than it started the day, but not a big rise. If you were watching that throughout the day, at the beginning of the day, you're like, oh my God, all my money's gone. And by noon, you're like, oh, it's looking pretty good. Then by 4 o'clock, oh no, it's gone again. And just as the market closed, we saved it. See, and that's how we do our life. We're like ticker watchers. We're doing that with our life, but that distorts our life. If you were to go to Las Vegas and let's say you got $1,000 in your pocket, why are you going to gamble with $1,000 anyway? But that's okay. If it's fun and you can do it, go for it. So you got $1,000 in your pocket, and you get there, and you're with some friends, and you got tickets to a show. So you've only got a couple of hours to play at whatever is your sport of gambling play in Vegas, right? And so the first hour, you lose $1,000. But in the second hour, you win it all back. So when you go to the show, you're like, yeah, baby, I did great. Now, let's reverse that. Let's say in the first hour, you'd win double. You're like, yeah, but in the second hour, you lose it all. But then in the last few minutes, you win your $1,000 back. You go to the show like, dude, I lost all that money. But you still have your $1,000. Our feelings are determining what's going on for us. If you were to go back, let's say you lose $1,000, you come back and you're up $100, you buy drinks for your friends. But you only got $100. It's all this feeling thing is determining how we think. And sometimes our bad feelings will distort our thinking. That bad feeling of losing all the money in the beginning, or losing money at the end, even though you ended up with the same amount of money in your pocket when you started, you leave the feeling bad. That's not it. See, our emotions, our feelings are instant. They're instant. They're like Instagram or Instapot or whatever's bringing the stuff to your food right away to your house. That's your feelings. But your emotions are like, this stuff's cold. You know, it's the part where you think about it. It's the part you think about it afterwards. The emotions are the reflective part. That shows us how we're going to handle our feelings part. There was this guy that was changing his tire. He had a flat tire on a rainy day in front of an insane asylum. They don't call them insane asylums anymore. In front of an institution that was taking care of people who had some mental challenges. Ergo, the guy who was standing in the rain at the fence looking at the guy on the other side of the fence who was changing his tire. So he's changing his tire. He's got all his lug nuts in his hubcap rim. And as he takes the tire off, he steps back and he kicks the hubcap rim, and the lug nuts fall out, and they roll down the street and get caught in the flow of water and race down into the drain, and they're gone. He is like jumping up and down, just freaking out, totally upset, losing his brain because he has lost his lug nuts. How's he going to put his tire back on? He's totally freaking out. He's having a bad time. His feelings are telling him this is the worst day of his life. At which point, the smiling guy behind the fence is like, what are you smiling at? Why don't you just take one lug nut off of each of your other tires and put those on that tire, and then you can drive away? That's not a bad idea. He says, I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. This woman, Annie Dukes, is a famous poker player. She was raised with 4 brothers, and she learned how to play poker, and she could beat them. In fact, one of her older brothers was a poker player, and she thought, I'm going to do this, and she became a world champion poker player, and she wrote this book called Thinking in Bets. And this is where a lot of this idea comes from, that our feelings distort our reality through our emotions. And she says that in our in-the-moment emotions affect the quality of the decisions we make in those moments. And we are very willing to make decisions when we are not so emotionally fit to do so. We are not so emotionally fit to do so. We'll make these decisions. We don't take time to go, I'm having a feeling. It might distort this situation. This is why we talk about learning about our beliefs and thinking about our thoughts and our things and putting it all together in a science of mind's perspective so that we can make some intelligent choices and not have them to resolve the conflict that Dr. Holmes was talking about early on. And one of the ways to dissolve that is do something called mental travel. To look at the past us and the future us and determine whether this particular us in this now moment is based in reality. Like the Berkshire Hathaway thing. The stocks go up over time, but this particular day they did like this. Maybe I'm just in a this like this situation. If I can back up for a minute and think about how many other times have I had this experience and it turned out okay. Most of the time it has turned out okay. We got to get ourselves to that. That's one of the ways that we can resolve that. But we don't always do that. And I blame Geico for that. Remember Geico's cavemen? Right? So simple, even a caveman could do it. Well, the cavemen, we are descendants of the quick decision-making cavemen. We are. If we were, because all the cavemen that did the thing I was just talking about, the past us and thinking about all that kind of stuff, they're in somebody's jaws.
Yeah.
They didn't make it. The ones that made it made the rapid decisions, and we have that in us. It's kind of built into us. And so because it's hard to make the good decisions. It's hard to do this thing called expected value theory. See, it's hard to do expected value theory, where you look at all the pros and cons of if I did this, and the pros and cons if I did that, then you make a list, then you do a statistical analysis of that list, and you say, okay, this says this, and that says this, so that's what I'm going to do. We don't have time for that. So we do the feeling emotion thing. You see, we use mental shortcuts. They have a long word for that called heuristics, but mental shortcuts works better for me because I don't have to Google that to see what it means. But it's called heuristics, and we do that. Another study was done, and they were using Chinese characters and trying to figure out what was happening with these characters by what they did is they put these control subjects in front of pictures. They had smiley pictures, angry pictures, and neutral pictures. And then they'd show you a smiley picture and then put a Chinese character. Then an angry picture, a Chinese character, neutral picture, Chinese character. Just alternate. And then you would judge how you felt as a result of that. And then after it was over, they said, okay, which character makes you feel good? And the character that was preceded by the smiley face was the Chinese character that made people feel good. Of course, none of these folks spoke Chinese. That was one of the things they had to do, right? The idea here is that we attach certain things to our feeling good, and then as a result of that attachment, we have an emotional response that lets us realize that we're feeling good. We get caught smiling on things that may not be the one that gets us to the space we want to be. As Rolf DeBelly says in the book called The Art of Thinking Clearly, he says, against our best intentions, that's all righty, against our best intentions, we substitute the question, what do I think about this, with how do I feel about this? But remember Dr. Holmes, the well-balanced person resolves the conflict between emotion and intellect. The well-balanced person goes, I am actually judging this on how I feel about it, but maybe I should stop for a minute and think about what do I think about this so that I can resolve the conflict.
Particularly because society has trained us so often to think that some emotions are good and some emotions are bad, but actually all emotions are just neutral, and the feelings and judgments that we get are the feelings and judgments we have about these emotions relate to our sense of the hidden beliefs that get into our bodies, that sabotage our desires, that hold us back from our good. If we can get to this place of knowing that judgments are just part of what we do and part of our being, and not get hijacked by that, and allow ourselves to feel the balance between the two. We think about these statements. If I say to somebody, "You're just being emotional," or if I say, "You're being rational," which one do you think is going to get the one, you're being rational? We kind of celebrate that. Oh, you're being rational. Okay, that makes sense. We downgrade, "You're being emotional." That's wrong. No, the two together work. That resolves the conflict. We want to be a little bit of both of those things. I think that's what's behind the parable of Jesus in the back of the boat when the disciples are freaking out over the storm. He's to represent that space, that balance, that resolved conflict in that situation. You see, the disciples, they're the feelings and emotions that are going, "Oh my God, everything's falling apart with that." And he just wakes up and says, "Dude, think about this. Shore's right over there. Quiet, be still." And everything settles out. That's what we get to do internally with our own thoughts. When we get into those spaces where we're in conflict between feelings and emotions, we can stop for just a moment and be still and quiet and work our way through it. This is what Adaya Shanti says in his book, Resurrecting Jesus. Through the whole trajectory, from birth to childhood to adolescence and then into adulthood, we change so much, not only physically but emotionally and intellectually, yet something remains unchanged. It's that still center within us that remains unchanged. When we get tossed on the seas of our feelings, when we get battered by the responses to the rough emotions that we're going through, when our boat feels like it's rocking, we can wake ourselves up and be like the great wayshower and say, "Quiet, be still," and perhaps make a wise decision that's not going to be based on distorted feelings, and allow our inner guide to be that useful compass to move us to that better way of being. And then, from knowing all of this, maybe we can smile at the dance that takes place between these scattered emotions that are happening in our lives. We so often say that our emotions got the better of me. My emotions got the better of me. As if our emotions are some kind of opponents that we need to duke it out in the ring with. No, they're not opponents. They're just gauges on the dashboard of life saying, go fill up on some spiritual truth and centering. Our feelings just explode, kind of burst forth from our thoughts into forms. Our feelings are our reactions. Our emotions, though, are adaptive, and those adaptive take place when we go into that stillness, into that quiet space, and get acquainted with the storylines and the beliefs of our lives that are leading us to have these snap judgments and snap decisions. It's okay to be descendants from the cavemen. That's fine. That's okay. It's great to be descendants from these folks that were making great, quick decisions, but we also have some time now. And we got these tools. You can just Google something and get some support on the decisions you make. You can go into your spiritual practices and use all these things that we do, and then we can become intimate with our feelings and emotions rather than run from them or chase them away or judge them as good or bad or whatever. They're just things that's just part of life that are just happening. Fuel, grist for the mill for us to make our lives that much better. Robert Augustus Masters says that it is only by befriending our emotions that we can work with them in ways that allow us to benefit from what they offer. It's time to be willing to value our spiritual practices that ground us in the process of making these decisions, to go into those meditative moments that can moderate the swings that are happening in our life. And if we can learn to perceive our life realistically and not from this distorted space, then our emotional life will absolutely enhance itself, and we can appreciate sadness and joy and all the stuff in between. Like today, we're going to have that. We've already experienced. We're experiencing some sadness and some joy and all the stuff in between for the journey that Dr. Susan is taking. for the journey that we take every day in our lives, for those moments when our own individual personal stock market dips by 11:30, rises back up high by 4, and closes at the bell just okay and better than the way we started the day. But that all happens as we go on the inside and catch ourselves smiling in here so we can smile out here. And so it is. So here we go. I smile as I feel what I feel, knowing my emotions are a threshold to the deepest understanding of life's adventure. Let's do a quick prayer, shall we? Revealing prayer. Open ourselves up to the divine spirit within. So I see some folks that have been watching us from home, and then I see some folks that are just showing up maybe for the first time, and I see some folks that are having a birthday today. We'll talk about that in a minute. We call it the revealing prayer because whatever is happening in your life is here to reveal the higher experience coming forth. It's already, whatever we desire, it's already there. It could not be there because we live in a place called infinity. That means everything is existing. What we have to do then is to draw that into our attention, draw that into our reality, make that a part of our experience by revealing it and also moving away what stands in the way of our good. So if there's something standing in the way of your good, bring that to the top of your consciousness right now. If there's something that you know that you want to experience more of, bring that to the top of your consciousness right now. Hold that thought in mind. Let it vibrate through the room as we recognize that there is one life. That life is God. That life is your life, my life, our life right here and now. We are connected to a power greater than we are, yet it is all that we are, and we are all of it. And in that relationship, we stand at a solid point on holy ground that allows us to speak our word and to say a truthful statement that brings that word into the reality of our experience here and now. Whatever that is that you're looking for, if it's to pull forward to a right relationship, if it's to bring harmony into your life, to express more love in the world, more peace in the world, to relieve yourself from any stress, strains, or disruptions that are taking place in your life, all that is available through the power of right thinking. Calm, peaceful stillness opens us up to the greatness of our being. So here and now, I'm declaring, affirming, claiming for each and every one of us that highest bit of good unfolding that we are holding in consciousness right now, and knowing it becomes our experience here and now. And every moment we walk deeper into that experience with more joy, more blessings, more unexpected pleasures and treasures. So I hear now release this word into a perfect law that says yes to our intentions and makes them real in our lives as we affirm these words. And so it is. And so it is. And now, a word from our sponsor, the Kosmic Kids.
Hi, Dr. Susan. I just wanted to thank you for all the amazing memories that you've given me over the years. I've really learned a lot from you and had a lot of fun. One of my favorite memories was filming the online junior church series with you, and I'll really miss you when you're gone. Love you.
And Maverick is up in the booth learning how to direct the broadcast. Oh, is he here? Oh, is he back down here now? Oh, okay. Well, he's been up in the booth because he's going to be learning how to direct our broadcast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. We're excited about that. All right. If you would like to see the various ways to give, they're on the screen to support our spiritual community, which is really just exploding with blessings. And yesterday was such a thrilling experience. And after service today, we're going to get together and celebrate Dr. Susan out on the patio, our second community gathering that's bringing us more back into what felt like a normal. What is normal anymore? Anyway, I mean, is that? I think we should retire that word. We might need to retire that word. You know. What is normal? Right. And I think every year they come up with the word of the year. They should have the word that retires of the year, and I'm going to nominate that word to be retired for the year.
We have this wonderful affirmation of abundance that we do here. If you haven't done it before, please say these words with us. It's really a powerful affirmative statement, not just for our center. And in it, these words are for CSL Simi Valley. We say that because we are all CSL Simi Valley. When you leave here, you are still CSL Simi Valley. So these words of abundance speak not just to the truth of what we take place for our center, but what takes place for your life everywhere you go, everyone you come into contact with. Here we go. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley. Now, divine love is victorious. And here are the announcements for this week.
What I see is baskets full of smiles and a bunch of positive emotions. Grateful for all that is given and for all that it does for this center and for beyond these walls. And so it is.
And so it is.
I believe it's you again, girl.
Guess what? You're going to sing again.
Right.
Because that's just what I love to do. This next song is one that I wrote with Harold Payne.
You
I
know
don't know how
Harold.
many of you know Harold.
Yeah, we do.
Wonderful human being and fantastic songwriter and artist. And yes, oh, we got to plug in. Details, yes.
Thank you, Lane.
Thank you, Lane. So I want to dedicate this especially to Dr. Susan. This is your tribe here. And the song is called This Is My Tribe. And we're going to ask y'all to sing along. Hold on one sec, though. I gotta make sure I got this. All right. We got guitar sound. All right. We come together, it's meant to be. In this moment, this point of destiny, got each other's backs, walk in each other's shoes. These are my people, my brothers, my sisters, the family I choose. This is my tribe. Sing with us. This is my tribe. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. We're all on a journey. It feels like home. And wherever we go, we know we're not alone. We share our burdens. We lift each other up. We're there for each other, come hell or high water, no matter what. This is my tribe. This is my tribe. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. Let's spell it out, shall we? Here we go. T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E. This is my tribe. This is my tribe. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. Let's do it one more time. This is my tribe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my tribe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. All right, bridge. And after all is said and done, I know that you will be the ones I carry with me in my heart. Sing it! This is Dr. Susan's tribe. This is Dr. Susan's tribe. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my tribe. This is my tribe. This is where I thrive, where I come alive. This is my tribe. Oh yeah. Here we go. T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E, my
T-R-I-B-E, my T-R-I-B-E,
This is
my tribe. Yeah.
We love you, Dr. Susan. We are your tribe. Thank you so much.
Oh. All right, I'm going to be joined by the president of our board of trustees, Gregory Seymour. Welcome him. He's like some jack of all trades, master of many. Okay, so this is our thank you time. So first I want to do our straight up thank yous. Dominic for the slides today. Ron for stage management. We had our service team was the Schaefers and Linda. Thank you so much for that. If you're new to the center, Karen's in the back. She's got the visitor package. She'll be available for that. Up in the booth right now is Darlene stepping in for Gregory while he's down here. So we thank you for that. Let's see. And did I miss anybody? And then John will be underneath the exit sign, available for prayer after service as our practitioner of the day. Dee's also here as a practitioner. If you can't wait for John, great prayers there. I'm going to put you on the spot if you're available, because we got a few people here that might need that. And I see Nancy in the back. Raise your hand, Nancy. An incredible minister who's also available for prayer. I'd imagine if you need to pull her to the side, I just put her on the spot. She's got to say, she's been voluntold. So that's how that goes. All right. So as we continue, we've got something we want to do. But before we do these, let's hear another message, not from a Cosmic Kid, but from the Cosmic Kid.
Hey, Simi Valley CSL, DMJ here. I just wanted to pop in and tell my dear friend, Reverend Dr. Susan Hulton, what a blessing she has been in my life, and I know that she continues to be a blessing in your life, even when she departs to what's next for her on this wonderful journey. Wherever she goes, she makes a difference, and that's what it's about. Knowing that we come to this planet, it's a better place than we left. And Susan Hulton, you have done that in spades, and I will long remember you and love you. Have a wonderful journey. Peace.
Dennis.
Dr. Susan, we need you to come back up one more time. I know, gosh. This is where you would come up anyway. This is a Cosmic Kid time. This is your part of the service. Let's step over here a little bit more. All right. So.
Wait. You got to Thank you very much. You get to wait.
Fine. Don't think that's something new. You just aren't here Monday through Thursday. It happens to me like 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes 4 or 5 times a day.
Sometimes. Not always, just sometimes.
Enough.
When I was leaving my house this morning, excuse me, my stuffy nose.
Yeah.
When I was leaving my house this morning,
Is that?
No, I'm on.
No, it's on.
I'm on. I had one of the kids' books because I spent time yesterday going through 35 years of youth ministry paper that was in my garage in a 6-drawer file cabinet. It took 6 drawers to carry it all. So as I'm going through it and I'm saying, okay, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with it? It's going here in the trash. But it didn't go in the trash. It's going away from where I am to where I'm going to be. But one of the things that I ran across when I was going through this was a book. I thought, I don't leave books in here. But apparently God had in mind that I leave this book in there. So the book is called Life Changes. And it's a very simple little book, and it has the drawings all done in blue and white, of kids asking the question, why does life change? And why does the sun come up? It's light. Why does when the sun goes down, it's dark? What happens when I have a fight with my sister? What happens when I have a fight with my friend? What happens when my pet dies? What happens when my folks aren't here anymore? What happens? It's life-changing all the time. Yet through all these changes, through all these things that happen, there is one thing that does not change. And the greatest gift that the center has given me for all these years, and each and every person sitting here, is the changes that love never, ever goes away. Yeah. No matter where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling, what your emotions are saying to you at the moment. Right. It doesn't matter. Love never goes away. It never changes. So please know that as I'm on my journey and you guys continue your journey, the love that I have for you, and I know the love you have for me, goes with me, and it never changes. Thank you.
It's all right. Well, it doesn't stop. We've scheduled our annual Spirit Awards. They're going to be on June 12th. Is that right? June 12th. But you might not be here on June 12th.
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you may not be here on June 12th, we have our 2022 Founders Award. Honors Reverend Dr. Susan Hulton for outstanding service on behalf of the Centers for Spiritual Living Simi Valley from 1991 to 2022. Thank you so much.
So this is it. This is one of the awards that we've added to the list of awards with the B. Thompson and Virginia Nelson Volunteer of the Year. But this is the Founders Award. Goes to the person who stamps up and beyond all those, whether it's community service, service to the center, service to each and everybody, and service to humanity. And that's why you get the Founders Award this year.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you like that, huh?
It's very pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody did that.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was.
I don't know who that was. But you'll no, it wasn't. No.
She does that.
No, it was that hatted woman back there in the back with the mask on. Bridget.
Bridget.
Yes.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And we also did it because inside are sentiments from many of the members of the center for you to read, and some play money for when you get to Arizona, so you can, because you're going to do the Etsy business, and we want to start that off for you.
Arizona now?
I mean, Colorado. wherever that family is of yours, they're all over. They're there too. You're going there too sometime, I'm sure. But we want to give you this. So also, this is for you to spend some time with and enjoy in your private space.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'd like just to remind you, when you miss Dr. Susan, for the last 2 years, she and I were here every Sunday doing shows for the kids. She did, for the first several months, 3 shows a day. She has 39 shows on YouTube. So when you miss her, take a look at them. She did an amazing job.
That's right. And we're actually not getting, she's not going away. We're keeping her on stipend, and we're calling it Simi Valley East, and she's on speed dial. So it even started yesterday. I was like, "But where is so and so? You know, how do I get into my office? The keys are locked in there or something." So, you know, you're just taking a space somewhere else, but it's still here with us always.
Well, like I said, the love that you guys gave me is going with me, and it's not changing, and it just looks like in a different place. That's all.
Yeah. So we'll keep on doing this. We're going to do it outside after service. But now let's do our final closing things that we do so we can go and party. All right? Okay. Thank you, dear. So are you ready? Let's all stand. Do our benediction and we'll sing. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth unfold you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, oh, love be with you, oh, love be with you, oh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, see the light and take a stand. We are changing a whole new life for you and me. Take your path and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, oh, 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 love be with
You, one of you. And there's a birthday in the house. Drummerman, Danny. Oh, Randy, let's do it.
He didn't know this was coming.